Alright, this one's going to be about alcohol, and I don't know if I can keep it to 10 minutes or not, but it'll be a part one and part two. To start, I know every kind of drunk there is, and when I talked about those good fares gone bad, uh, I can think of a few, and one of them was Nurse Jackie. I mean, she got super drunk, and now she didn't get into my cab anymore. But there's another guy who's native that first time that I gave him a ride, he tipped me real huge because then he can treat me like shit the rest of the time, and not tip me real big later on. But yeah, he was just a raging alcoholic. We went to Walmart he goes, yeah, let's go to Walmart so I can get some alcohol. So we go to Walmart. He goes, oh, I can't go here. My uncle's a cashier in there. We got to go to the other Walmart. So we went to the other Walmart. And then right all the way back, he bitched about the price. I said, hey, man, I'm not going to give you, a discount. You actually took the cab for this amount of time and this distance. And, he grumbled about it and paid me. But, the last time, I mean, he lived maybe 10 minutes from my front door. He called me up. He goes, yeah, I need a ride. So, I was ready. I had all my clothes on. So I went out, got in the car, and started driving. And like halfway there, he calls, hey, where you at? You're taking too long. And that's when I stopped the run right there and blocked him. And that, he was a fare that, I don't know, probably 6-8 months, I guess. Can't remember his name. It was like Derek or something like that. But that's known. But I mean, there are different kinds of drunks, because anything that you were told not to do when you were a kid, don't cry, don't fight. Just say that. I made some cream of asparagus soup that is just so incredibly tasty. Yeah. Just had some, so I'm still in a high off of that. But so don't cry, don't fight, don't laugh too much, don't talk too much, don't get too loud, don't whatever that is your inner child. And when you get drunk, there's a phase where that you hit your inner child and you start doing whatever. And personally, my favorite were the crying college girls with all their friends, and I would just egg it on. I'd find out what was bothering them and then just egg it on and make them cry harder, and all their friends would just laugh their asses off. Then I would be laughing the girl crying would be laughing her ass off, but she'd still be crying because she's drunk and whatever. But then after that stage, then there's the belligerent, and then there's the passed out, and then there's the puking. And that's everybody. I mean, across the board, alcohol is a horrible drug. It really is. The only reason that it's there, it's legal, is so that the girls lose their inhibitions and we propagate the race, right? So that really is all it is, lowering inhibitions. But it's making bad decisions. It allows you to make bad decisions. Let's taste that soup. So what was my further point? Oh, so yeah, then the oceans of puke that I had to go through. I had a sign on my window: one drop of vomit in my car is $85 flat out, and it'll go up from there depending on how bad it is. And it's my judgment. Don't puke in the car, period. I do not want any puke in the car. Well, that didn't stop people. I was actually puked on at one point, but those guys, it was two of them in the back seat. One guy was just, I'm so sorry. I'm just so incredibly sorry. I was watching him. I knew that he was going to go, and I didn't say anything. I'm so sorry. And then just started throwing me all kinds of money, all kinds of cash. And I appreciated that, because a lot of people, when they puke in the cab, then they sober up a little bit and start getting pissed off at you because the way you were driving, whatever, I mean. And I would tell people, hang your head out the window. If you feel it queasy at all, if it gets on the side of the car, I'm okay with that. That hoses off. But if it gets inside the car, it's $85 minimum. And that would sober them up really fast. But I'd had one, and if they didn't want to pay, I'd be okay. Well, it's signage right there. I just call the cops. And they come and we settle it through the law. And if you don't do it, it's a shoplifting. That's what it boils down to, a shoplifting charge. So, a few times, I remember one specifically that I gave a girl a ride, and she complained about it. She didn't remember it was me, and said, yeah, I had this one cab driver that charged me $85 because I puked in his cab. And he called the cops. I said, yeah, that was me. I remember you clearly. I mean, if you want to go no hard feelings, I'll go no hard feelings. I got paid, but if you want to be a jerk about it, I'm still kind of pissed off about having to clean up your fucking puke. But, and a lot of times they'd start calling somebody else. I didn't care. When anything goes wrong, they're going to be jerks towards you for the rest of the time that you know them. Every time they ride, they think you're doing you a favor or something, you know what I mean? And honestly, I feel like I'm doing them a favor because they puked in my car, and I shouldn't be picking them up. But, then one time when I had that 10-passenger van, I used to stop at a bar called Museum Club. We call it the Zoo. A funny story to that one. That was a friendly guy. Alright, I'll tell it. Somebody called up and said, I want you to take me to the fucking zoo. And the guy that started Apex goes, I'm sorry, we don't even have a petting zoo in town. That was pretty funny. But I picked up at the zoo in that 10-passenger van, and everybody piled in, and then the way that I would do it is I'd go, okay, who's with who, and I'd separate the runs, and I'd get $5 here, $10 there, $12 here, $4 here, and then everybody would be tipping me out at the same time. And it just worked out for everybody, because it's not breaking anybody's bank. I mean, what are they going to, I want to save an extra 50 cents, nobody's going to do that, especially when they're drunk. But everybody piled in. Everybody piled out. It got everybody out, and I picked up another fare because bar rush at 2:00. It's go time, and you just run downtown and pick up more and take them someplace, and boom. Well, I picked up a bunch of, I think it's like 4 people. They go, hey, you got a guy passed out back here, and I'm all, what? Yeah, you got somebody passed out back here. I was all, I didn't know that. So dropped them off, and then I went back there and said, hey man, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. And then I looked down and he pissed himself. Oh man, now you're gonna have to pay me $85. Because, I mean, pee, especially like alcohol pee, it's like almost water kind of thing. Just shampoo it, and I'm not sitting back there anyways, clean it up enough to where it doesn't stink. And, that's it. What are you gonna do? It's a cab. So I called the cops. I said, hey, this guy's not getting out of my cab. I don't know he's not waking up. What do I do? And they said, take him to the hospital. So I took him to the ER, and they came out and they pinched his nose. I didn't want to touch the guy. I mean, I'm big into not touching anybody, especially when they don't pee themselves. When they do pee themselves, but I don't like touching people if they don't pee themselves. So they pinched his nose and made him wake up, and then he just got up and started walking away. And I said, hey man, you owe me a lot of money. This is taking a lot of time. And he just kept walking, and later on I picked him up, And I got to give it to him. He goes, okay, here. And he gave me a bunch of money. And he goes, you know what this is for? don't don't say anything. I was, oh yeah, all right, whatever, thank you, But it's at 10 minutes, and I know that I've got so many more of these stories. The drunk stories. It's I knew a girl back in Missouri that died from drinking too much. When I was a kid, the lead singer for Tough Luck died from choking on his own vomit, and everybody said, "Well, tough luck." But yeah, and then yeah, I'm gonna go longer on this one. This happened several times. I would have somebody in my cab that's just sloshed. They want me to take them to their car, and I'm like, hey, it's not that far. I would tell people, you could take a cab driver or a cab ride from one coast to the other for the same price as a DUI, but it all washes out and all the hassle. So just let me take you to your house. It's 50 miles away. That's fine. And this is one specifically that comes to mind. And he was driving out to Loop, Leupp. And to get there, you have to go by Loop Road, and it was from downtown. And I said, okay, which way are you gonna go? And he's making sure that you're taking the back roads and all that, like drunk people do. And he goes, yeah, I'm gonna be going the back roads, and yeah, I can only take Loop. There's no other way I can get there. And immediately when he got out of the car, I'd call the cops and say, you got some guy in this kind of car right here that's going to be driving super drunk on Loop Road. And I'll tell you, Loop Road, there's two major roads that were super dangerous in Arizona. That was 64 in between Grand Canyon and Williams, and Loop Road, because everybody, they thought that they'd get drunk as shit and drive on that road. But it's beautiful. Loop Road is a beautiful drive. But yeah, I did that a few times. There was a few, because when they're just too drunk to drive and they're still hopping into their car. And again, same with watching the girls go to their doors. Or I wanted to clarify on that one too. I would ask the girls, because it's not like I can see where their doors are all the time, but I'd say, how much time do you need to get inside your place? I'm going to wait that many minutes, and then I'm going to go, just in case, because anything can happen, right? And then I got reviews. I got this one, if you read it, I don't know if it's still up there or not, but this chick I must have pissed off somehow, and believe me, I pissed off a lot of people. But I must have pissed her off somehow, because she created this story that I was pissed off that she wouldn't let me walk her to the door, and I was trying to walk her there instead of her boyfriend, or something just really bizarre. But that's not the truth. What I actually would do is just make sure that they were safe, give them enough time to get into their house, as it should be, as every cab driver on the planet should be doing for at least women. But we weren't really allowed to give rides to kids unless without parental approval. But men, sometimes things happen. People watch somebody getting out of a cab, they know that they're drunk and they're getting vulnerable. So got really sidetracked there. Oh, yeah, so I just find out where the drunk people were driving, and then tell the cops immediately, there's this car with this license plate, this person is drunk, pull them over, take them away. Because you don't know. You can take out a family, or whatever. Or you're lucky to get home. You're lucky to get a DUI if you're driving like that. Because you couldn't actually kill somebody or yourself. There's animals and other drunks, and Yeah. Anyways, we're going 15 minutes on this one, I guess. So, next I think I'm going to talk about Nosh. The bigger than Christmas woman Nosh. Thanks. Bye.